One of the things us humans aren't great at in this day and age is not giving ourselves enough credit. It's easy to feel like we're not doing well, like we're not worth it, like life is passing us by, everyone around us is accomplishing more and doing more than us, and it's very easy to put ourselves in a position to feel that way. And a lot of us, especially young men nowadays, may not have a support system to tell us that we're doing well or how proud someone is of us or that we're doing okay. And I'm here to share with you that we can't rely on anyone for that. If you have that support system, that's great. If you have people around you telling you those things, building confidence in you, it's amazing, truly blessed. But even if you do have that support system, we can't rely on that. And that's why this video is titled one of two things: how to be proud of yourself or how to build confidence. And I'm going to share a very practical way, an actual thing that you can do to help you have a little bit more pride, be proud of yourself, and have some more confidence, a little bit more pep in your step. And pride is an interesting word. You know, I believe in the Bible, it says that pride is the downfall of man, or one of the downfalls of men, that it's not something that we should strive to have so much pride in something. But I think it's good to have pride in what you do and how you live your life and who you are. And this is coming from someone who now is very confident in himself. I walk into a room, job interview, meeting, conversation, meeting people, whatever. I truly believe that if I want to get something done, I'm going to get it done. For the last year, I've been going to job interviews, had a career change. I'll talk about that in another video. I've been to a bunch of job interviews in the last year. And every time I walk into a job interview, it's not a job interview. Years ago, I used to be very nervous. Oh my God, are they going to like me? I'd be like, almost shivering like I'm cold just from nerves. Now I walk into a job interview and I'm bringing a lot to the table. What do you, as the employer, have to offer me in this business? Why would I want to work here? Is kind of how I approach that. And when you can approach meetings, interviews, school, relationships, conversations, sort of with that attitude of, I'm enough, here's what I bring to the table, how can we make this a working win-win relationship? It really does change your life. And that's who I am now. Confident on camera, confident to share my opinions, confident wherever I go. That's just me. That's just who I am. I identify as that now. But that was not the case growing up. Confidence was something that I struggled with very, very heavily. I was the most shy, socially awkward, socially anxious kid within a 10-mile radius. And there's a lot of people in LA, right? I struggled with talking to people. I struggled with presentations in front of class. I struggled with pretty much everything that would have been helpful if I had some security in myself, some confidence in myself. I didn't think I was necessarily a piece of shit. I was just so scared to say anything. So how does one go from lacking confidence, not necessarily being proud of themselves enough to have confidence, to being who I am now today? And there's multiple things. A lot of different things, and it's built over time. But there's 2 or 3 things that can help you get there, that I've done to help me get to where I am. And I think this is an important conversation to have, like this day and age, amongst young men. Like I said, we can't rely on anyone to feel confident or to be proud of ourselves. We need to be able to do that within ourselves. Right? It's no one's going to do it for you. So let's create that sort of winning mindset, winning environment, confidence, let's build that confidence from inside out. And that's how it works. And let me tell you one thing. Not only was I shy, awkward, and anxious, but I was also fat growing up. And I say that we need to build confidence and become proud of ourselves from the inside out, not from the outside in. If you get if you lose some weight, if you build some more muscle, if you look smacks and fucking all these things and mew your tongue and all this and to get a better jawline, like that can help with your self-image, but not necessarily this deep inner confidence. Changing your outside look, changing what you wear, yes, that can improve your self-image, like I said, but not necessarily your confidence overall. In some cases, yeah, it can, at least for a bit. But if you're fat, lose weight, and get confident, then you're gonna find something else to not be confident with at that point. From then on forward, like the goal post moves, right? So it's very important, no matter what you look like, no matter who you are, no matter what's going on outside, we need to build it from the inside out, is my point, okay? So how do we build confidence? How do we become proud of ourselves? And there's many answers, but one simple one, the one I want to talk about, is you need to prove to yourself that you can do things. Confidence comes from having a track record of, I did that. I did this. I can do it again. Confidence comes from discipline. Also, for example, with working out. It's not about to change the outside looks to feel more confident that way. It's about, I did it every day or regularly. I did it 3-4 times a week for weeks, for months, for years, even when I didn't want to do it. That builds confidence. You're doing it even when you don't want to do it. That's a fact. That's a great reason to work out. That's the main reason why I work out, is because I'm proving to myself, even though I don't want to do something, I'm going to do it. But that's besides the point. That's for the conversation later. What I want to talk about is something that we can do with a pen and paper. And it might sound a little cheesy at first, and you might think you won't be able to do it, but trust me, you can. I'm going to walk you through it and give you some examples of my own. So one of the first things you're going to want to do is get a pen and a piece of paper. If you don't already have a journal, get one. And don't get some bullshit 5-star notebook from Target with flimsy paper that's going to fall out with perforated pages and all. Get yourself and invest into a good notebook. Spend some money on it because it's going to mean more to you, okay? And we're going to write down very, very important things in this journal. This one is $20. I got it from, I think, Office Depot. It's like a leather-bound, thick-paged, beautiful, beautiful journal. And this one, and also, it just smells so fucking good. This is an old one. This is from, if I look at the date in my first entry here, this is going to be from, I believe, 2015. This is from 2015 to, I think this is just 2015. Bunch of notes in here. The whole thing's full. This is an old one. I came across it in my closet, actually. Forgot I had it. So this is from 2015 to 2016. Journal entries, notes, thoughts, sort of my therapist in here, in a way. And I've been to therapy multiple times, and I don't think therapy is necessarily it's helpful, but it's not very helpful, in all honesty. I don't know. It's nice to have someone to talk to with unbiased views, with no preconceived notions of you. In that aspect, therapy is nice. If you need it, get it. But I've done it a few times, and I want to say it helped, but honestly, I don't really think it helps. That's probably that. Maybe it does. I don't know. That's just my point of view. I don't think, at least as a young man, therapy is all that necessary. And I've dealt with some shit. I've dealt with issues in my head and very, very tough moments. So, but take that piece with a grain of salt. If you need therapy, you need it. You know yourself better than I do. So that's that. Now, I was flipping through this the other night and came across this section called Fired Up Moments. And what this is, and what you're going to do to build more confidence and be proud of yourself, is we're going to keep a track record of moments where you felt fired up, of moments where you took the W and owned that W. W meaning win, right? Anytime in your life you maybe won something, got great feedback from someone, where people doubted you on something but you did it anyway, where you made your first sale, you got this job, you got that scholarship, you whatever. These are basically moments in your life where you just felt so fired up about life. Those moments is what I want to talk to you about. And these, like I said, this is from 2015, this is almost 10 years old. And a lot of these moments were from 15 years ago. Some of the moments that I wrote down on here years ago were things that happened to me in high school. And I'm going to give you some examples, okay? I'm going to do that right now. And then we're going to get into why this is so important. Because the other day, I was feeling really down in my head, right? And I don't know what led me to go through my closet, but I found this notebook, came across my fired up moments that I've written 10 years ago and almost 10 years ago. And I felt so much better about myself. I felt a spark of confidence again. Not that I was lacking confidence, but I felt better. I felt fired up again, right? And it's nice to have something to go back and look on, like a track record of different successes that you've had. And I know some of you are going to be saying, oh, I've never had a great moment. I've never achieved anything in my life. I've never had any successful moments like anyone else. That's a lie, number one. So stop telling yourself that, because there are moments. There are moments. Any moment you felt fired up, and that's going to look different for everyone, okay? So I'm going to go through a couple of mine to give you some examples, and then I'm going to talk about this a little bit more and how important this is truly to have some, to build some pride, to build some confidence in yourself. So like, for example, first one I wrote down, fired up moments. Winning Best Director sophomore year in front of my media academy and giving a testimonial in front of everyone. This was in 2011. I wrote down the year that happened, 2011. I was a sophomore in high school. It's over 10 years ago. I won a small award. It was nothing big. It wasn't a big film festival or nothing. It was a small award in my media academy in high school. And for that year, I won Best Director. And I got to give a little speech, little testimonial, here's my thought process in front of everyone. And that felt fucking great. That felt great. Because I love making videos, especially back then. I liked doing more narrative style things. Moment I felt fired up. Simple as that. You don't have to go too in depth. You don't have to go anything crazy. It doesn't have to be a big moment, but just something, right? Next one. I got a promotion at a sales company I was in years ago. Fired up moment. Back in high school, I also used to shoot music videos for local rappers and things like that. And I posted an ad on Craigslist offering my services. And there was an artist who saw my post on Craigslist. Her name is Syra. And at the time, she was working with an artist named Skrillex. We all know Skrillex nowadays. And she did the song like Bangarang and Kyoto for Skrillex. And she actually had won a Grammy for the work she did with Skrillex. And I got a personal call from her to come and shoot one of her music videos at the age of 17. And I wrote that down. I said, getting a personal call from Syra to do her music video during school. I got that phone call during lunch. And that was a great moment. I just felt fired up. When I finished the post-production on that music video, the music video was called First Impressions. And we finished it, we wrapped it up, and we were showing it to her friends and her colleagues and her manager and stuff. And it was an emotional song, an emotional music video. And there was this artist in the room. Her name was Penny Bird Rabbit. And at the time, she had sang some vocals on a Deadmau5 song. And she cried from the music video. Syra's manager, who has worked with a bunch of big artists, was in the room. And he loved it. And I was 17, and I just felt, holy shit, I'm feeling fired up right now. I wrote that moment down. Now, that seems like a relatively bigger moment, but there's smaller ones in here as well. Next point, every time I watch my film work, I created something, and every time I go back and watch it, I feel fired up. Even with this channel, when I go back and watch one of my vlogs or something like that, or on my other YouTube channel, I feel fired up. I'm like, oh man, I made a fucking video. I did it. I had an idea. I created it. I put it out there in the world. I'm fired up about that. Even if no one watched it, fired up about that, right? Another one on here, graduating high school. Simple as that. Now, the reason this one was very important to me is because there was a period of junior or senior year where I almost didn't have enough credits to graduate, and I really didn't think I was going to. And I was like really kind of scared that I wasn't. And also, I had a daughter at 16 years old. And when she was born, I was a junior in high school. And so many people doubted me. So many people doubted that I wouldn't finish high school because I had a kid during high school. Me or her mom doubted us heavily. So I wrote graduating high school with my daughter there. after so many people doubted that happening. Fired up moment. Fired up moment. These are some old examples, but even as I sit here and read through these, I'm feeling much better about myself already. I'm sitting here shooting this video, and I really didn't want to shoot this video today. I really wasn't feeling like speaking in front of the camera. I'm feeling much better about myself already. And these are old. Let me think of a couple that I could add to that list right now in my life, things that have happened recently. So about 6, 7 months ago, I decided that I wanted to take a break from editing. I'm a video editor. That's my day job. I've been working heavy hours every single week for 5 years straight. And I was going crazy. And I knew I wanted to leave that gig for a little bit and take a little creative hiatus. But I was so scared to, because the money was good and I didn't want to disappoint my clients, right? And I thought, well, what am I going to do? I don't do anything else. I don't want to go get, do I really want to go get just another job, just a regular job and, minimum wage job? Like, I don't know. Do I want to do that? And I said, fuck it, man. My mental is just like, my mind is burnt out. I need to. So even though I was scared, very, very scared, called my clients, told them, hey, I'm done editing. Let me train someone else for you so I can get out of here. And I did that. And I decided I was going to start bartending, because as a video editor for 5 years straight, you have very little social interaction. You're in your room, in your studio, dark studio, editing other people's stuff for hours on end. And so I wanted to do basically the opposite, something social, outside, a lot of people, fast paced, working with my hands. So I started bartending. And I remember the first time, so I got a bartending job, this was maybe 5 months ago, and the first rush that I experienced, when there's a lot of people ordering drinks, the bar's going crazy, and I'm sitting there and I barely know the recipes, right? I'm almost freaking out. I don't know the names of the different alcohols and the different liquors that people want. They go, can I get that? I'm like, which one is that? Like, point the bottle to me. I didn't know where anything was. I didn't really know the recipes. But I got through my first rush as a bartender. Made great tips that day. People loved it. People loved me. It was fantastic. I felt so fucking good. That's a moment I could add to this list now, a recent one. And I invite you to just think back on moments in your life where you felt fired up, man. It could be something literally like another moment I felt fired up. Let's talk like real basic, real simple one. Getting my first W on Warzone with my friend back during the pandemic in 2020, playing Warzone all fucking night with my friend. Our first win, our first dub. Like, oh my God, that felt so good in Battle Royale. I never played Fortnite, but maybe could apply to Fortnite as well. Your first dub, you know what I mean? Getting I don't know, first girlfriend, first boyfriend, buying yourself a car, buying yourself something that you've always wanted. Moments where you just felt like, yeah, man, I did it. And that's so important to have written down on paper physically for you to see. Why? Because we need to go back and physically be able to read a track record, a list of our W's, of our fired up moments, so that you can remind yourself, holy shit, I'm capable of feeling that way. I'm capable of feeling confident. I'm capable of getting things done. I'm able. I'm capable. I'm skilled. Whatever it may be. You can do it, and you have a proven record of it right in front of you that you can continue to add to over the next year, over the next few years. Just continue doing it. Every time you feel like that, you write it down in that journal. Very, very important. That is a practical thing that you can do to build confidence and actually be proud of yourself. I promise you that. Because like I said, we can't rely on that from anyone else. From your mom, from your dad, from your girlfriend, from your friends, from whatever. It's nice to have. I'm not saying they never will. But as a man, we cannot rely on that. We cannot rely on anything external. Point blank, period. So even in moments of job transitions, failing a class, not getting anything done, your bank account's not looking good, your relationship is falling apart, your girlfriend left you, who cares? Who cares? I promise you, no one else cares. No one. Not people could say they care. People can, show you some support and say they, but really, when they go to bed at night, they're not worrying about your problems at all. They're worrying about their own problems. Everyone's worrying about their own shit. No one gives a fuck about your problems. So we cannot rely on anything external to give us motivation, inspiration, support, feelings of confidence, feelings of pride. It's nice to have those. I'm not saying we can't get them from anywhere else. I'm just saying you can't rely on it. And Other things to think about and other things we can do to build more confidence, to have a little bit more pride, is you just need to imagine the life that you want, the person that you want to be, and you need to start acting like that person right now. That's an absolute fact. Even if you don't have the means, even if you don't have the resources, you need to start acting like that person from day one, starting right now. Think about and write down who you want to be, what you want to have, how you want to show up in this world. You want to show up as this confident person who walks into a room and you just feel comfortable in any situation. You feel like you can walk in and conversate with this person, get that job, get that scholarship, get that class, pass that class, whatever it may be, get that girl, right? Be that person already, even if you don't feel like it, and I promise it will happen. It's almost like fake it till you make it, kind of, but not really, because you're not faking it. You are genuinely being that person now. Even if you don't have the means and resources, doesn't matter. You become that, and then you get the means and the resources. It comes along the way if you show up in that manner. Does that make sense? Be, do, have. A lot of people think you need to have something first, have money, have the house, have the girl, in order to do things, to do whatever it is you want to do, and then you'll be that person. I want to have this so that I can do this and be that. No. It's the complete opposite. You need to be that person first, do the actions necessary, and then you will have it. Be, do, have in that order, not have, do, be. Okay? Now, that middle one, do. You need to do things that you don't want to do. That builds confidence. Is doing things that you don't want to do. Going back to my example earlier, working out. I really don't want to work out. Yesterday was a chest and triceps day. I really didn't want to do it. I was physically tired, physically sleepy. If I closed my eyes, I could have fallen asleep at any given moment, but I couldn't. Had too much things to do. And workout was one of them. And I just made it happen. I downed pre-workout forcefully, and I just sat there and I did it. Even if it wasn't the best workout of my life, right? Even if it wasn't more reps than the week before, it's okay. I still did it, even though I didn't want to do it. Bam, built confidence. And you keep doing it. You want to make money online? You want to be a YouTuber? You want to be an influencer? You want to be a TikToker? You want to make videos? Oh, you have an idea for a podcast? Oh, you have an idea for this? No one gives a fuck, and it doesn't really matter unless you start doing things. Even when you don't feel like doing it, even if you're a little scared to do it, okay? You keep doing it, even if you think it's gonna not pay off. For example, let's say a job interview. Let's say you got a job interview. This actually happened to me. Let's say, and to a friend of mine recently. Let's say you had a job interview, and you know that they probably weren't gonna hire you, right? And you probably didn't even really want to work at this specific spot, at this specific business. You still go to the job interview anyway and show up as your best self, and you take that as practice. What's it going to hurt? Okay, what you wasted? You took up an hour of your time. Not a big deal. You did something when you didn't want to do it. You use it as practice. You learned something from it. Built more confidence because you did it once. Now your next interview, when you go somewhere that you do really want that job. Oh, I've been to interviews before. I've been to interviews similar to this. I can make that happen. My point is doing things that you don't want to do. Do it anyway. That builds confidence. Okay. So having confidence, being proud of yourself needs to come from the inwards outwards. And that starts with, number one, having a physical track record of your wins, of your fired up moments, baby. I promise you this is going to make it happen. And then when you have, set aside a few pages for that and just start with a few. At first, it's going to be hard to come up with the first one. It's going to be hard to come up with the first 5, maybe even 3 fired up moments. But do your best. Sit there. Take some time. Put the fucking phone away and think of moments of success for you, moments of W's, moments where you felt fired up. And if you need help thinking of certain moments, like what I do sometimes when I was like, oh, where was I like a few years ago? I don't really remember exactly what I was doing. I'll go through my Google photos or whatever, your iCloud photos maybe, and I'll just scroll back to the year. Okay, 2016, the summer of 2016. Oh, that was a great summer. I remember now. I was here. I was doing this. I remember that moment. That I actually felt really fucking good in that moment. I'm going to write that down. That's something that you can do. Look through old, whatever archive that you have of your life. Go through that. Think of school, think of high school, think of college, think of whatever it may be. Holy shit, I did it. Hit a PR on a workout. I've never bench pressed that much before. I never squatted that much before, and I did it. Holy shit. That's great. Fantastic. Write that down. It's the first thing, man. I promise you. I fucking promise you. I did this almost 10 years ago, and this was a moment in my life, this journal, this year, everything in these pages is journal entries, fired up moments, and notes from things that really meant a lot to me. And I didn't realize almost 10 years later how fucking cool it is to open up an old journal, June 1st, 2015, new decade. It's already 6 months into the new year, halfway done. Where I thought I would be right now is very different from where I am, which is encouraging me to be, do, have more. Holy shit, I literally wrote that down and I just said that to you guys. I turned to a random page, swear to God. That's crazy. Where I thought I would be right now is very different from where I am, which is encouraging me to be, do, have more, learn more, produce more, study more, implement more. I turned 20 in 4 days. It may not seem like much, but it's major. I'll officially be in my 20s. This is crazy, man. See, like moments like this, it's great to go back. August 17th, 2015, where was I? You know what I mean? So your future self is gonna thank you heavily for having a journal with things written down, important moments of your life, how you were feeling. Because number one, it's also great to just sort of express these things and get these out on paper, out of your mind, out on paper. But also it's great to go back and see where you are and see how much growth you actually have made, right? Fantastic. Please fucking do this. Please fucking do this. I know this is a different tone, different vibe than some of my other videos, but dude, I promise you, it's so fucking worth it. You're going to feel so much better. Your mind's going to feel clear, and you're not even going to want to do it at first. But I promise you, sit down, try and get the first 3 written down. And once you get the first 3 to 5, you'll kind of be on a roll. Then you add a few more. And then as new moments happen in your life, you'll keep adding to it, and it'll be fantastic to look back on. And for you younger folk, your list might not be as long as someone who's 30, 40, 50. And if you are 30, 40, 50, your list can be a little bit longer. Really dig deep into those archives you have up here and write those moments down, because anyone at any age can use a little bit more confidence and feelings of pride. Then the second thing, just do things that you don't want to do that are good for you. Do them anyway, even when you don't feel like doing them. You should go for a little walk outside. You should go get some sunlight. You should, message that person back, reply to that message. You should go to that job board and find the job that you want and just apply to it. Sometimes we don't feel like doing things, but that's the pitfall, is relying too much on your feelings. You think the people who have accomplished great things, who have built lives that they want to live, and I'm not talking, become a millionaire, build a big company. I'm talking just live a happy, joyous life that they wanted to live, that they are proud of themselves to have lived. Do you think they relied on their feelings? Do you think they said, "Oh, I don't feel like it today. I don't want to work out today"? You think the people with the big muscle look jacked and healthy and are going to live a long life because they're fit and take care of themselves? You think they are like, "I didn't feel like it today. I'm not going to do it"? No. You think the people that have built successful businesses? You think the people that have built successful YouTube channels, TikTok pages, or successful creative accounts, or successful whatever it may be, you think they relied on their feelings all the time? No way, shape, or form. That's how I would sort of label that second thing, is doing things that you don't want to do them anyway. I would just say, don't rely on your feelings. Feel the feeling, of course, feel the feeling, but do it anyway. That's actually a really good book. It's called Feel the Feeling and Do It Anyway. I think that's the name of it. Something along those lines. I'll put a picture right here. I read that book, fantastic book. So keep a track record, feel the feeling and do it anyway, and you will have more confidence. Be, do, have, track record, feel the feelings, do it anyway, all those things. Adopt that mindset. Stop watching Netflix all fucking day. Stop listening to music all fucking day. Listen to something inspirational. Listen to some podcasts. Listen to some damn good speakers of people who have actually done things and have really good insights and these fucking philosophies about life that you want to adopt and embody, and listen to them on repeat, even if you're not paying attention. Just have them in the background. That's what I started doing 2 years ago. Fucking changed my life. I still do that now. Right now, I was listening to, as I was setting up, I was listening to the new, Andrew Schultz, the comedian. He has a podcast called Flagrant. He had Vivek Ramaswamy on there. Now, not to get political or whatever, but whether you're conservative, Democrat, Republican, whatever, Vivek Ramaswamy is sharp as a fucking tack. Really, really sharp, can articulate his thoughts incredibly well, can hold his position in a debate, whether you agree with him or not. He's a fantastic fucking speaker. I've been listening to every podcast that Vivek Ramaswamy has been on since he started his presidential campaign. And the reason is because I want to speak like that fucking guy. Has nothing to do with political views, has nothing to do with policies, has nothing to do with the border, has nothing to do with anything, has nothing to do with Biden, has nothing to do with that shit. It has to do with, I like the fucking way he speaks. I want to adopt that. Let me listen to him on repeat, and I will start to sort of embody some of that. I will start to pick up things, and I'll become sharper. Every morning, read. Oh my God, reading is so hard. I know it is. I am one of the shittiest readers in history, but lately I've just been picking up. I have a bunch of old books that I've read. I've read this book multiple times. Lately, for the past, I would say 5 days. So it hasn't been a solid streak or anything. I read at least 10 pages in the morning. And this book is called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. It's kind of, one of those books where it's common knowledge. We already know these things. It's nothing new, but it's just nice to have them reinforced. It's by a guy named Dale Carnegie. He wrote the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. Fantastic fucking book. I got a big list of books. Not a big list. I've read a bunch of books and I have a solid list of a few of them that have really helped me adopt a new mindset for life that has literally changed my life. To build even more confidence, to get things done, be happy, to not worry, and to just sort of, I don't know what the word is, to just sort of see life in a completely different way than I did maybe 15 years ago. And it's beautiful. And reading's hard. Trust me, reading's fucking hard, dude. It's really fucking hard, especially nowadays with like Instagram and everything and TikTok. You just want new information. Instead of going on my phone and scrolling TikTok for the first 30 minutes a day while I drink coffee, I read a little bit of a book. And this is the one I'm reading right now. So I might make a video on a couple of books that have changed my life and share with you guys the sort of tidbits that I've learned so that if you don't want to read the book, because I know a lot of you won't, because I don't read much, you'll still get some of the information. So I might make a video on that. Let me know if you're interested. But I want to know, because this channel, I don't want every video to be like a one-way conversation. I want it to be a place where we can all kind of get together and conversate with each other. I'm going to say something on video. You go drop your thoughts and opinions in the comments. You have conversations with other people in the comments. That happens on a few videos, and I fucking love when that happens because it becomes a community versus just someone talking to a camera and you picking up the information, or not even picking it up, but just passively listening to it. I want this to be like a real thing. So if there's anything that you've done that has helped you on your journey that we call life, anything that helped you build some confidence, something that you added to your routine, sort of mindset or philosophy that you adopted and started implementing, drop it in a comment down below, because we, want to learn from each other. And we all have different experiences and we all live a completely different life. And it's nice to have different perspectives and inputs from other people so that we can adopt it and try it out and see if it works for us. We can share it so that someone else can adopt it and try it out. And then that way, collectively, we all get higher because of what's the fucking, a rising tide floats all boats is what I was trying to say. Rising tide floats all boats. If we can all get better, society will get better as a whole and ultimately can change the world. And it starts with you and me, truly. But not you and me being selfish with our thoughts and being selfish with things that we learn, but sharing it and having a conversation and having a community around it, right? So, different video this week, but I fucking hope it helps someone. I really, really did. We're here for each other. Don't rely on each other because we can't rely on anyone externally for how we feel inside, right? Like I said, but it's nice to have that community. But anyways, my name is Steven. Welcome to the Vlogust channel. Subscribe if you like the vibe. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.